Good morning. So today I woke up happy. I actually was extremely happy this morning, so that's good. Usually I wake up and I'm just tired, but today I woke up happy. So, as you guys know, recently uh, I've been having a little bit of haters on YouTube mostly attack me. And I think the same rule is going to probably apply to all my social networks now, that if somebody is going to bring bad vibes to my page, my channel, or any of my social networks, it's going to be immediately deleted because the vibes that I want is loving light. That's it. Just love and light. And if nobody can respect uh, the fact that I'm trying to spread love and light everywhere, then they're not on my. And then I had somebody say to me that me saying this isn't very spiritual. And I said, spirituality has nothing to do with bending over and taking crap from people. You know that, right? Spirituality is understanding that there is no differences between me and other people, that we're all the same, and that we're all one, and we're all one collective consciousness. On the other hand, that is not to say that it's okay to treat somebody disrespectfully or immorally or horribly, and I will not tolerate it. That is my boundary. So if you're coming from a place of anger, aggression, and hate, I'm sorry, but those are low vibrations, and I'm not going to have them anywhere near the higher vibrations that I'm bringing onto my. And also to the one that said to me yesterday that I talk about people being programmed. Well, what do you think the nightly news is for? It's not to inform you of things anymore. It's literally to. If the news was to inform us of things that we need to know, it would be unbiased journalism, and it would be simple, straight to the point. There would be no opinions or pushing agendas. There would be no this or that, them or us, or any of that. It wouldn't be a duality standpoint. It wouldn't be hate the Democrats or hate the Republicans or hate the liberals or hate the conservatives. It would literally be unbiased, unified topic. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be, oh, Trump said this, we should hate him, or Justin Trudeau is doing this, we should hate him. And to be honest, I'm not too fond of how Justin Trudeau is doing things, but I don't hate him. I actually hope that he wakes up and mends the relationship between the indigenous people, because currently what he's doing is genocidal tactics, and I'm not for any of that. So Justin Trudeau is very, very dark and insidious recently, and I don't think that his vibrations are what Canada needs. So I think he needs to raise his vibrations and his consciousness and his overall self, because right now he's not doing what he promised, and he's not showing the same level of dedication and love that he did in the beginning of getting elected. So I think he needs to step his game up and be more loving, or step down and let somebody else take over, because we need somebody who's going to love environment, love the earth, love their people, and fix all this mess that happened over 100 years ago. And what I'm talking about is private banking. That is what ruined this whole country. I don't think that anybody even realizes how this monetary system has been ruining lives. We should be resource based. And what I mean by resource based is, you have a certain talent, like Johnny's really good at detailing cars, so he trades detailing cars for things that he needs instead of paying for things that he needs. And I can already hear the haters. But Stacy, nobody's going to want to work if we were in a resource-based society. Really? Who wouldn't want to go and do things that they love to do and have free housing, free food for it? For instance, right now, I do all the things I love to do and I don't get paid for doing them. I garden. I put together herbal medicines at home. I learn spirituality. And what I'm learning, I'm also sending out for people to learn from. So it's kind of like teaching. And I'm teaching my kids about gardening and herbalism and whatnot. So why wouldn't I be able to trade that for what I already have? But Stacy, without money, they won't be motivated to do anything. Motivated? You mean you won't be motivated to go and teach some kids something for like six hours and then get free food and free housing and free car? You wouldn't be motivated to survive, basically? Is that what you're saying? You wouldn't be motivated to trade something for your life, and then you won't be stressed out. Oh, I have to work this amount of hours to pay for this. Oh, I have to go and talk to this many people to sell this. Or, oh, I have to do this for this. It wouldn't be like that anymore. It would be like, hey, I get to do what I love now. So you like to do photography. So then you could trade photos for food. Or you like talking about cars. So you teach people about cars when they go to get a car. And so you, in return, would have a house, car, food for free because you're doing it. It would be contributions to the community in some way. I would probably do gardening and herbalism because that's what I'm into. So then I would obviously get what I need from that. The monetary system is a prison. School systems are a prison. Working 9 to 5 because you have to is a prison. I'm sorry, but those are programmed prisons for your brain, your soul, your mind. I meant to say body, soul, and mind. It's a prison, and it's a programmed one because we're taught it so young. We're taught from a young age in school that we have to do this day in and day. And parents, they're forced to send their kids to school, and it's not fair. Like, why can't we just, let them learn what they want to learn at home? But Stacy, they wouldn't learn anything if they were at home and doing nothing all day. That's not true. My kids like to learn. Logan and Lucas like to write. They like to read. They like to learn about colors and all that kind of stuff. And to be honest, Logan goes to a public school, a regular school, and they haven't taught him anything except manners. That's it. I taught him more when he was homeschooling than they've taught him. So all I'm saying is we are programmed. We're programmed every day, day in and day out. Facebook's articles, Facebook's agenda of spreading hate for whatever group that they don't like. Now, we're programmed from mainstream media on TV. TV shows keep us dumb, watching TV all the time. Our brains don't work. We can't think for ourselves. Fast food, junk food, so that we could fall in line. That is what it's about. Same with this whole thing about vaccines and whatnot. It's a division tactic. They're dividing us from each other and keeping us divided because of whatever agenda that they have, which I'm pretty sure the agenda is not to allow people to find out that if they all became one collective consciousness and we all came together and we were all awakened, that they would have no power over us and that we would be able to create our own reality. Not that we can't create our own reality right now. We are. We're basically allowing them to puppeteer and put a veil over our faces. We're allowing that. And then there's a few of us, like myself, who are awake, who are literally saying, enough's enough. I'm tired of this. I want out. Like, I want to tap out of this matrix, 3-dimensional illusion programming, and I want to tap into my real reality where there's nothing but love, light, and harmony. And so we're all trying to do that. And I've noticed that the more we try, the more people hate on us. And that's okay, because, you know, all the great people in history who have ever taught love and acceptance and unconditional love and light and harmony have all been ridiculed. For instance, one very famous person that you may know, Jesus. He taught love, unconditional love and light and acceptance and harmony. And look what happened to him. Because the Romans, I'm pretty sure they were Roman Catholic. I'm not too sure how that worked out. But I know that the Romans had an agenda where they were trying to control their people. And Jesus was helping them wake up. And so they had to get rid of him. So then they interrogated his apostles, and I think 2 of them gave up Jesus, and because I think one ran away, and then it was Peter that actually went back and said, "I'm sorry, he said, I'm sorry, I ratted you out," and then I think Jesus like forgave him. I'm not too sure. I don't know the story very well. It was a very long time ago when I was in Sunday school, but I know the story goes something like that. And it was the Romans who was to program their people. And it's been like that throughout history. The ones that want to be on top will program the people below them, because what else would they do? They need a leader to follow, right? No, we don't need a leader to follow. Basically, if you teach kids morals while growing up, there would be no need for leaders. If we all taught love and unconditional love, acceptance, and light from a young age, then there would be no crime, most likely, hopefully, unless, they're of lower vibrations, which is currently what's happening. All these horrible tragedies they're the lower, dark, insidious vibrations trying to stop the higher, bright vibrations from getting to the masses. That's what this is about. And what better way to divide and conquer? You've heard it throughout history, that phrase, divide and conquer, because it's easier to divide people up, take them into separate places, and then program them however way you want them. So, you guys can believe what you want, but our current existence and our current reality, the 3-dimensional reality, is based on smoke and mirrors. It's a reality to keep you controlled, dumb, and low vibrating. And I want you all to know that there is a way out, and that you guys can raise your vibrations and you guys can get out of that matrix. The first way of getting out is by accepting that it is a matrix. It is a program. It is an illusion. And then, after you accept that fully, because it takes a time, do some real research on each of the topics that you think that were true at one point, but are now you're kind of understanding that they're not true anymore. And above all, always hold love in your heart, no matter what. Even if you're angry at the videos that I make, don't hate on me. Just accept it and show love. Well, I'm not moving, so throw the stones. I have so much love and light that I want to just spread it all over. And through doing these videos and harshly waking up to realities is probably the only way. So I hope that whoever needed to hear this heard it and is happy, and whoever is angry probably didn't want to hear it now and will probably have to come back another time. So there will always be love and light here, no matter what. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Saturday, and I'll be back a little later to share some of my day like I usually do. And I hope that no matter what, today you practice love and light and spread some love and light. It'll heal everything. And that's what we want. We want to heal the whole earth from everything. So, without further ado, I will say victory to the light, love and light, namaste. Have a wonderful Saturday, everybody. And eat lots of vegetables, photons, light energy. Hello. So, I wanted to talk about a few things. So, today I've been getting a lot more good vibes. I've been feeling happier today. And also, I've had more people talking to me about how to, I think it's how to integrate those who have hateful, spiteful, revengeful characteristics. And my message to that person was to love them unconditionally and compassionately, despite their feelings towards you. Because we cannot unify a connection or a higher consciousness or a oneness with people if we're reacting to how they're reacting to our message. We bring the message of peace and love and harmony and unconditional acceptance and higher vibrations, and some of them aren't ready to receive that frequency. If they're getting the frequency too fast, they're probably going to be irritable, angry, lash out. These are the symptoms of frequency transmitting too fast, right? Also, if it's way too fast, we see things like what's been going on recently, as you know, the horrible tragedies that's been happening. They just lose their minds, and they can't comprehend what's happening or what's going on physically and emotionally and consciously with them. It's a whole biological change all at once, and so some people just lose their minds and do some crazy things. So we have to be mindful of that. And some of the things that are happening aren't from a transmission failure, I would call it, for people who want to understand what's happening. If the frequency is going too fast, there's going to be a transmission failure. If they're not getting the frequency at all, however, and can you wait? Look, I wanted to show you this. Goddess energies are so strong. Divine feminine. I can feel her today very, very deeply. This is what we call the maiden phase of the moon. So, just a little while ago, I decided to make myself one of my favorite all-time vegan sandwiches. And yes, it's a vegan sandwich because there was no insect byproduct or anything to do with animals. Okay. So I'm going to say it's a vegan sandwich because it was literally tomato and whole wheat bread. So I made myself a kind of like a toasted tomato sandwich, I call them. So I toasted it. I used olive oil based butter that had no dairy, olive oil, and Himalayan pink salt, and regular I think it's called cracked black pepper, you know what I mean, the black pepper that you crackle it, and tomato, organic tomato. So I cut the crust off because I haven't tried to eat any crust, but I wanted to try to eat a sandwich because the more I eat, the more successful, solid eating experiences I get. And because I've been sticking to what I think it's my higher self that kind of made this deal with me, not my subconscious, like I think. I think it was my higher self. As long as I stay to the deal that I made with my higher self, that I will not eat any meat or have any cheese, processed cheese, like dairy products, as long as I stick to this strict vegetarian/vegan diet, I'm gonna not have a panic attack. Now, I found an alternative for coffee, finally. It took me a while because I wanted to read the reviews of some of them and find out if it's like pure vegan coffee. And I think I found the perfect one, and it has caffeine in it, but it's not like coffee grains. In fact, it's more of a nut. It's more of a nut family than a coffee. So yeah, so I found one. I'm going to be picking it up on Thursday. I also found a protein shake to replace Ensure, because Ensure has been making me sick, like physically. So I know that it's lower vibration and I can't be consuming it. So that's why I went for a sandwich today instead of Ensure, because Ensure has been hurting my gut. So I had toasted tomato sandwich, which I haven't had in 15 months. 15 months. And it was so good. I can't wait to buy avocados, because then I can make toast avocado sandwiches. You guys have no idea how exciting this is for me. It's like discovering something new. It's so exciting. Okay, now back on topic that I had been doing before. Okay, so what I was saying was, if the frequency is going too fast to them, then there's going to be a transmission failure. But if the frequency isn't getting to them at all, then they're opening themselves up to lower vibrations, which can allow in insidious forces. Now, a lot of people have different views on what they are. I know that some of the light worker community calls them demons. I don't think I think it's more complex. Demons, what are demons? Right? Like, you have to think of it, how did our ancients try to describe what they were seeing, right? So if we're talking about demons, I don't think that they're actual demons. I think they're entities in which we call demons. So what would these entities be? I, for one, think that they're reptilians, because they are the ones that's been trying to destroy the consciousness of Earth forever, for thousands of years. They literally came here just to do that. They manipulate us, they control us, they put this big, huge illusional screen in our faces all day long. If you want to understand what's happening, I'm pretty sure there's videos out there revealing most of the presidents as reptilians. And not to say that they are reptilians, I'm pretty sure they're not. But what I mean is they have that reptilian vibration. So they're allowing the vibrational frequency of the reptilians into them, which is kind of like a demonic possession. So they're allowing them to work through them, basically. And they allow this through their demonic rituals, which aren't really demonic rituals if you really want to know. It's more like an alchemy thing, where they do a ritual based off of elements and conjuring and manipulation of materials, which is alchemy. So they use this alchemy, sorry, I get distracted very easily. They use this alchemy in their rituals, which allows for them to transmit the possession of the reptilian. That's how they get their fame and fortune, and how come they're on top of the world and they're the ones running things and blah blah blah. And it's always been this way until now. So what's happening now is there's a huge huge conscious shift that's going on, not just subconsciously but consciously. We're all shifting, we're all biologically changing, and what's bringing this on is the fact that the universe, source, is biologically changing. She's biologically upgrading. Therefore, all of the fractalizations out, all of the fractals from source, which is galaxies, solar systems, stars, life forms on those planets and stars, will evolve too, along with this biological evolutionary shift. So we're all evolving, and some of us will evolve into the fourth dimension as either light workers moving through into the fifth dimension or reptilians. And if that happens, if there's too many like four-dimensional dark energy, all of us light workers will have to stay behind to balance the dark and light before we can even ascend onto harmonious heaven in the fifth dimension. And we're all aware of this. This is our mission. So it's not like something that everybody wants to take on. This is like something I'm pretty sure Jesus had to figure out for himself too. Like, he disappeared for however many years. I don't know if anybody knows that, but he disappeared from a young age until he was 30. And during that time, he was figuring out what his mission is on earth. And then when he figured it out, he realized that he had to be a teacher, a healer, a message bringer. So he was a light body worker, just like us. And he was helping people heal themselves from the inside, gain unconditional compassion and love for everyone, even the ones who threw stones at him, spit at him, cut him. He had unconditional love. He knew that they weren't in their right minds. He knew that they didn't understand what was happening, and it wasn't the time. It was not the time for the paradigm shift at all. It was not time for the ascension shift. It was not. And so he had to pay the price for that, and it's very sad. But many after him had the same problem. Many people after him who came with the message from the divine, from the source, had to die because people weren't ready. But now people are ready. We're actually a lot more open-minded now in this era than we ever were in all of our history. So now it's a lot easier for us to do what we need to do. It's a lot easier for us to spread the word, to spread the message, to spread the healing and love and unconditional compassion. It's much easier now because we have things like technology and phones and whatnot. And while it's easier, it's also a lot harder too, because we're more emotional now more than ever in our evolution. We're more emotional beings now. And that's part of the ascension. You become more emotional, not just dark emotions like depression and whatnot, but we're also emotional more towards the compassion and empathy. And more of us are leaning towards the compassion and empathy than we are towards depression, because we're figuring out how to get through it. We're all helping each other. We're a link in the chain, and the chain is coming full circle, and there will be no distinction of where it started and where it ended eventually. It'll just be a never-ending cycle, and it'll be perfect, because it'll all be in love and light and unconditional love and harmony, and it'll be literally heaven. And I can't wait. I honestly cannot wait. I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of anything that's going to happen because I know it's all supposed to happen that way exactly. It's designed. And all I know is that I will get the messages from the runes of what's coming and when it's coming and what's going to happen. I know this because they talk to me. They speak to me, and then they speak through me to you, and that's how it works. And I'm just super excited because I'm not the only one. And I also am super excited because I just found out recently that most of the things that I thought was wrong, because I thought I was going through something weird, it started 3 days ago. I think it was at the beginning of the solar flares, actually, on Friday. Thursday. Thursday was the beginning of the solar flares. It was the 9th until today. So today's the last day, which is good because I was like, it was the 8th until the 10th. So I was like really happy that it's over now because I was going through some horrible, horrible pain. Like the first day I was like nauseous. I felt sick. My stomach hurt. And I had a huge headache. And then yesterday I was having heart palpitations. My skin felt like it was literally moving and throbbing and like tingly. Today my hands have been trembling. Like I've been having like tremors today when I'm writing. And I haven't had heart palpitations today, which is good because it was scaring me badly yesterday. My skin was moving and tingly today. Also, I had my headache here and around my orbital cortex here. And it was all the way in the back of my head going down into my spine. It was pretty bad. It was intense for a little while. And I found out that that's part of the shift, that we've shifted into the 4th dimension. That was basically it. 3 days of horrible, agonizing shifting. But we're through it. We're here. And now we have a more clear understanding of our mission, which, like I said, I know what mine is. Mine is to spread the divine message that I get from the runes from the sky. So that's what I'm going to continue to do this week or this weekend. Hopefully soon, because there hasn't been clouds today, but soon there's going to be clouds, hoping tomorrow, and then I can start where I left off. And then eventually it's all going to come into full view. Like I'm going to start working with my tarot cards for the next divine messages, because even though they can give me the same runes over and over again, that it doesn't give like a full perspective. So maybe if I use my tarot cards, it would be a lot easier too, because they're pretty specific on messages as well. And not only that, I would probably get more of a visionary transmission than I would reading a rune in the clouds. Even though I do have visions when I stare up into the sky sometimes when there's clouds, I get visions. One of the visions was weird. I couldn't understand it. It was a while back. There was a bunch of smoke coming off of a land mass, just a bunch of smoke, and I didn't understand what it meant. I still don't. And then another vision was there was people that were reaching up at other people for help, and it looked like they were in trouble, and I didn't understand that. That was another vision. And I had another vision where people were laying down, like there was many of them laying down, and it looked like a wave of something. And I'm not taking them literally. Like if we were to take them literal, it sounds apocalyptic, but I'm thinking it's more along the lines of a metaphor or an analogy of some sort. So I'm not going to try to interpret what they are just yet until I get the message of what those meant. Like I have to meditate on those. What I have meditated on is the messages I've been getting from the runes. Those are the things that I've been meditating on and really trying to understand. And I'm sorry, I'm very mesmerized by this beautiful lady tonight. She's just so bright up there. shining her beautiful bright light up there, and it's just mesmerizing, and it just makes me happy. Sorry. I love the moon. I love the moon. So she's in her maiden phase, and next month she'll be moving into her mother phase, and then her crone phase, and then she'll be all encompassing darkness, and then she'll be maiden again. So that's what I wanted to talk about, was the frequency and how it's correlating with all this tragedy. It's one of two things. We won't know unless they actually release the confessions of these people that they catch doing these horrible tragedies. I'm pretty sure that it's either transmission failure and they've gone nuts, or they allowed reptilian forces to control their body, because this is distracting us light workers. Once you get to the level of unconditional love and compassion, you feel when somebody dies. You feel it on a level that's painful and really excruciating. Like, you feel it like it's a family member. And it's been really hard, which is why I don't read articles that people share about babies being murdered and whatnot, because it kills me. It really hurts. So I can't. Even Johnny, Johnny shared something about a dog the other day, and it ruined my whole day. I was just really sad, and I can't do it. So I don't do news. I don't do articles. I don't. I've been trying not to let myself get distracted by these reptilian forces trying to stop our ascension, because we're dangerous to them, so they're coming. And this is also why I feel like on my YouTube and sometimes on my Facebook I get attacked, because I am a huge danger to them with all these messages and transmissions I get. And they know I'm waking people up. They know I'm bringing an army with me when we ascend. I'm bringing as many as I can. And same with all the other light workers out there. They're bringing as many as they can, because this is our mission. And so I just wanted to tell you this, and I hope it helps the understanding of what's happening. And also a little bit of, if you felt any of the things that we felt, then you probably had the shift as well and you didn't even realize it. So please let me know if you've had those symptoms of like migraines in the middle of your head, and then going around your orbital cortexes up to your crown chakra, and then down into the back, like a kind of like a mohawk band. Just, oh, so painful. And stomach aches, nauseous, not very hungry. What else? Heart palpitations, tremors in your hands and feet, skin feeling like it's moving and tingly. And yeah, just let me know, because those are all full on ascension shift. You just ascended into the fourth dimension. And now you want to know what you got to do next. So, let me know. I hope everybody has a wonderful Saturday, and I'm probably going to go inside and warm up now because it's quite cold. And burn some sage and pray for a few of my friends that need the prayers right now and healing. So, I love you all, and I wish you nothing but love and light, peace and harmony, and so much compassion and love. And I'm sending out healing thoughts to anybody who may need it at this moment. Sending them all out. Now I will burn sage tonight, and I'll pray for anybody who needs the prayer. And just know that you're not alone, and if you need to ask any questions and have somebody explain things to you, I am around. I always post my links to where you can find me on social media, so you can always message me on one of those. And all I gotta say is, love y'all, victory to the light, namaste.